Alright, what is going on, my dudes? Today we are going to be talking about the best champion release in 2022 so far, and that is Toad. Now, Toad is another one of those champions with just a very long, complicated looking abilities list, but he's so simple to understand. Essentially, when you're playing Toad, what you want to do is use the special 1 a bunch of times and then use the special 2. That's really all you have to know, and there's some more intricacies to him as well. Like, for example, his tongue attacks. His tongue attacks place a poison debuff on the opponent. When you get to 10 of these poison debuffs, they're going to put a passive stun on. Now, if you're awakened, that passive stun can have its duration increased. Alright? Along with some other benefits as well, if the opponent dashes forward or back, it's purified to trigger another passive prowess. The special 1 gives you a nice strong passive prowess, so that's where the most of your damage is going to come from. So he's one of those champions where you use a few special 1s, then you have a big payoff with the special 2. Now, his tongue attacks happen on his second medium attack, parts of his special 1, and parts of his special 2. What you really want to do is use the special 2 while that passive stun is happening. Alright, now I'm going to show you all how to do this in some fights today, along with some special rotations as well if you want to get very fancy too. Now, I'm also uploading another Toad video, a super synergy Toad video that's the most fun, in my opinion, way to play him, where you have some synergy members making this guy pretty darn OP. I think he's really good by himself. I think he's going to be mostly an amazing defender, but I think just like for what he does, I think that he's a pretty decent offensive champion too. He's pretty much built to like really attack skilled champions. Like, as you're going through his abilities list, you're going to notice that essentially he has a lot of things that are just increased against skilled champions. Like, check it out right here, right? So, over here, the opponent dashes forward and back. It removes one of the poisons. But against skilled champions, there's a 70% chance to inflict a passive poison when that happens. So, if you're fighting Kingpin or Mole Man or any other skilled champion who shrugs and you place a poison debuff and they happen to purify it, they're going to get a 70% chance to have a passive, right? A passive one. Now, another thing here is that if Toad is a horseman, every time an opponent dashes forward or back on a cooldown of 2 seconds, you're going to go unblockable for a bit. So that's definitely very nice to have as well. So the heavy attack also converts 1 poison debuff per hit, and that is also going to be, used in a way that you can like reduce the poisons if you're not ready to put the stun on yet. Okay, now he has something called Paralytic Secretion as well. You get that with the special 1. As you can see, 70% passive prowess when you do so. All of your hits pause this secretion. Now, you're also going to be regenerating a bit every single time you activate this. Now, look at the bit on the top. If Toad is struck while he is near a wall, Toad begins to secrete paralyzing toxins and gains a regen passive, healing 5% of missing health over 8 seconds, plus 1% regen potency for every hit on the opponent's combo meter. Now, a couple things to point out here. This is going to be paused for 0.5 seconds every time you hit the opponent. So, when that happens, you start hitting the opponent, and then you start regenerating more and more and more and more. So he's a pretty sustainable character. Another thing, this is quite obviously, a defensive ability, but there are some ways to utilize it on offense, and again, that's in the other video that I made, and we'll showcase it a little bit today as well in this video. But again, look at this. Critical hits, bleeds, incinerate debuffs also have a 20% chance to trigger Paralytic Secretion, but against skilled champions, it's a 70% chance. So he just kind of rolls over skilled champions, man. He does a really good job at doing so. The special 2 is the big one. That's the big damage dealer here. It also has a slow debuff, but basically, you could see if you use it while the opponent is stunned, the passive stun, you're going to have a nice burst of damage too. So let's start jumping into some gameplay with this guy today. So we got the 5-star and the 6-star here. Now, if you run the Suicide Masteries, you have a 70% chance to start in your Paralytic Secretion, okay, against skilled champions. 20% against any other champion. But as you can see, when Winter Soldier dashed back there, right, he's going to purify one of my poisons, but it's going to turn to a passive one because he's a skilled champion, okay? Now we're going to start going for some of our special ones, okay? Now, as you can see, we're building up the prowess now. Unfortunately, both the big prowess and the small prowess from the SIG, they're kind of stacked, so you have to keep in track of how many special ones you've used. So far, we've used 1. We also started in Secretion as well, so we have plus 140% special attack rating just from our special ones, and we also have a decent amount from the Sig ability as well. But as you can see, the poisons tick pretty hard, and our basic hits and our special ones, they hit kind of nicely too. So Winter Soldier's already down to 60% health, just kind of naturally here, man. And look, that was a 50k special one. So this guy, I feel like he's a very satisfying champ to use on attack, even if he's not the most useful attacker out there. But as you can see, I went for the heavy attack there to remove some of the poisons because I wasn't ready to go for the special 2 yet. But as you can see, we're about to go for the special 2 right here, and unfortunately, we did not crit. We did not crit at all, which is definitely very, very, very unfortunate. But if that did crit, he would have been absolutely nuked, like there was no tomorrow. So that should have been the end of the fight if at least one hit crit, but unfortunately, gotta build up to another special 2 here. But again, this was a very quick and efficient fight here by Toad. Yeah. So he's a very simple champion to play, and he's very satisfying to play too. But let's start jumping over to the 5-star now, see how the 5-star rank 5 works. Actually, before we do that, I just want to show you that this is unduped Toad, right? Rank 3 unduped without the additional prowess and everything from the Sig. Just watch the special 2 and it crits. So that was well over like 125k. So he really does benefit from a nice crit, RNG on the special 2. But yeah, let's see how the 5-star works here. Now, essentially, we're going to do the same thing. Now, with his Sig ability, right, it's like if they dash forward and back, they're going to, purify 1 poison, and then we're going to get 25% prowess. This is something that I'm not going to force while I'm playing with Toad. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, oh well. As I showed you in that little tiny special 2 clip, he's more than capable of doing really solid damage unduped, right? So that's all without the additional prowess from the purification, okay? Even as a 5-star here, man, nice 30k special 1 right out of the gate. Good stuff, man. Like, I feel like the 5-star and the 6-star rank 3, they kind of perform very similar, like, when it comes to overall damage per second. And as you can see at this point, this was about where Winter Soldier was down to like 60% health. Now, depending on crit RNG here, it's looking like the 5-star is actually even doing just a little bit better too, because there's been some crits on the special ones, right? So yeah, man, we're gonna go for a special 2 here in just a second. Right here. Nice 30k, a nice 60k special 2, right? And as you can see, because of crit RNG, he's pretty much neck and neck with the 6-star rank 3. Gonna get to a special 2, and that's basically gonna be it here. So both of these champions did a few special 1s, and then the special 2, and then the fight was over. So I feel like Toad, between the difference between a 5-star and a 6-star, not the biggest difference, man. It's really gonna come down to like that crit RNG and how often you quit. Don't quit, just crit. Right? But yeah, man, Toad, I feel like he's pretty cool. Like, he's kind of gross, right? Like, this is kind of gross. But I think he's kind of cool, man. I think he's fun to play. I think he's a pretty powerful champ at the end of the day. I think he's going to be an amazing defender. I think he's going to be really good against skill champions too. So yeah, this was just a damage showcase. This was like a typical rotation, nothing super fancy. There is another thing you can do with this guy, and it's essentially what my whole other Toad video is going to be about, is that if you play him in a defensive way, and there are synergies that make this better, you pretty much skip the entire ramp up here, as you can see, right? So we're healing after getting hit, as you can see, right? And we're all the way ramped up. It's just done. It just is what it is. You got your 5 prowesses. That's it. I even got hit 1 extra time on accident, right? Now at this point, check it out. We're going to go right for the special 2 in just a second here against Winter Soldier. And boom, boom, boom. Here it comes. Again, we didn't crit, but you can imagine if he did crit, he'd be down to like 40% health, right? So yeah, this is definitely a really solid way to do a nice big chunk of damage at the beginning of a nice medium-length fight. Like if you're doing like a cat event quest, man, like go check out the other Toad video I uploaded and you'll see, like you just go into the corner, get hit with the synergy team, you won't have too much damage done to you, you'll be healing a lot. Snowball is yelling. Buddy, why are you yelling? Stop yelling. right? You'll be healing a lot, and then a nice big special 2 will just nuke the opponent down. So yeah, man, that's Toad. Just a quick little basic look at Toad. He could do some cool things. He could do some cool damage. Yeah, if you happen to pull him, I think he could be worth a rank up for you. He's not game-breakingly OP. He's nothing to break the bank for. He's nothing to wail out on or go crazy in arena on. In my opinion, I personally will not be. But if I happen to pull Toad in the future, I think I would be giving him a rank up because he's A, super fun to play, which is pretty much the most important thing for me. And B, he's pretty good. You know, he's got some cool things going on. But yeah, man, that's it for this one. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop your boy a big old like. Comment what you think about Toad in the comment section below. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any other future videos coming to you in the future. I'll be seeing you around.